catalysting company. Catalysting company where we are catalysts in each other's lives and catalysts in our own, and hopefully we become the artists we've always wanted to be through these conversations, sharing stories, and the comments down below. Where people share, sometimes they share a lot of information that's incredibly helpful. So today I'm going to continue working on this little doodad, which we started the other day with aerosols. I've been trying to find an angle where my fat arms aren't flapping in the breeze and I'm not walking in front of the camera, but it's just not happening. Let's move it one more time. All right, we're just going to do our best. There. Okay, hopefully the camera won't fall over and nothing bad will happen, but we're going to do our best with this at that angle. My arms are so flabby. I hate showing them off. I hate flapping them around in the breeze. Let's try this. Try one more thing. As you can see, I've sketched her in using the aerosol and then going over with oils. But she's been sketched in, it looks like black in the video here, and I realized when we're doing these live feeds, the image isn't always very clear. Nothing is very clear. Wait a minute. There we go. There seems to be a pixelation problem in when we're doing this. But so anyway, it looks like I've been drawing her in using blacks, and I haven't been. I've been sticking to the limited palette of Transparent Earth Red by Gamblin Artist Colors, teal, that lovely cobalt blue that my friend Lori Childers gave me, and now I'm down to white. I'm all out of titanium buff, so, and I'm not buying it until I can take care of a couple of bills. So it's been a pretty limited palette, but this dark that you're seeing is not black. I never go in with black. It's always a mixture of different colors and then layering the colors. So we've got her sketched in. I started doing some of the background up here today, and I wanted to do something a little bit or more subtle than all the filigree and flowers that I've done in multiple paintings now. I'm kind of tired of it. I've got this one painting of a boy on a hobby horse where I'm doing it again, and I'm bored by it. And if I'm bored by it, other people might not be. It could be a trend in my artwork. It could, if things work out to my advantage in life and I am suddenly Alice Neal at the age of 60 and taking off, they could say, people could describe it as not my blue period, that one anyway, the filigree, but they could describe it as my fancy background period, my filigree and doodad period. But I'm tired of it. The actual application of it isn't boring, but it's become so repetitive. I can't take it. It's not the same pattern every time. It certainly isn't. And I've been cutting new stencils along the way so that they're a little bit, each one is different, but it still was like, really? I'm doing this again? Woo! I don't want to. I'm not one of those artists that can pick one thing and just stick with it forever and ever. As helpful as it might be, I've got to do other things. My head can't take the monotonousness. So I've been filling in the background, not filling it in, but kind of brushing over and wiping off different shades of that mixture of transparent earth red, teal, a little bit of blue and white, titanium white. And it actually almost has a titanium white look to it, feel to it. But I'm starting off it's a light wash of the mixture. The wash is mixed, those colors are mixed with mineral spirits. So I get a light wash going over the black swipes that I leave in the background, but also with the light wash, it leaves me the option of taking away, adding to, removing and showing the aerosol colors coming through. I've got a lot of options I can play with. But now one thing I've run into when I'm doing things like this, when I'm setting down this layer and then the layers on top of it, is after a while, if you go too thick, or if I go too thick, after a while I've lost that rough texture in canvas that I really love. I love Michael's canvases and canvases by Blick. And no, I don't stretch my own. Please don't ask me again. I love the texture their canvases carry. It can be very knotty, N-O, not, K-N-O, K-N-O-T-T-Y. You know, it can be very rough, R-O-U-G-H. It can be very, very rough, and that's the texture that I like. And sometimes I want the viewer to see it and feel it and be engaged with it. But if you layer too much paint on, and again, wipe it off like I do too many times, you can lose that texture. So I try to be pretty careful in the amount that I put on and the times that I wipe it off. I've had several paintings in the past where I've wiped so much off that the canvas, the rough texture of the canvas, has completely been eliminated. All the cracks and all the lumps and bumps have been filled in to the point where it's almost like glass. It's a smooth canvas, and I don't like it. Unfortunately, I think it ruined how I felt about painting different subjects, because I had removed all opportunity to expose the texture of the canvas. And again, my paintings aren't, they are about the subject, but they're also about the act of painting. I don't think I mentioned that quite enough, but this is basically a portfolio based on the act of painting, and showing people who can't paint, don't understand painting, what it is. And what got me started on that train of thought has been based on things that people have told me when they've shown up to my shows, my openings. Because at the openings we'll have, you know, art enthusiasts, and we'll have collectors, or, but mainly the people that drive me crazy, which are art intellectuals and people who, you know, who graduated from college, bachelor's, master's degree, and they know all the fancy words, they know all the fancy lingo. I hate them. I just hate talking to them. My favorite people are the people who don't talk art, because I don't talk art either. People who speak in plain language. But my very, very favorite are the people who come and they're always leaning up against a wall, like eating something, and kind of watching the melee or the crowds, the people talking, and they seem very uncomfortable being there. Those are my favorite people, because I'm uncomfortable being there too. So I always end up standing next to these people, leaning up against a wall while we just wait for the night to be over. And inevitably, and these are the conversations I've learned a lot from, it's usually a guy. It's usually some poor man that's been dragged there by his wife or his girlfriend. And they'll always say to me almost the same thing. They'll just look at me and go, you know, I'll say, are you having fun? And they're like, no, I hate these things. My wife, girlfriend, whoever my partner dragged me here. And I didn't want to come because I don't know art, and I don't like art, and I don't care. And I'm never offended, because by that point of the conversation, we will have established what my role is, that this is, you know, some of this work, or the room is filled with my work, or I am part of the show and this is my work. And inevitably, every single time, I will have 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys say to me, you know, these poor souls that have been dragged. I didn't understand painting. I didn't care about painting. I don't even like coming to these things, but I really like your artwork. Oop. Sorry, the battery's dying again, but I really like your artwork, and now I understand painting. So I've kept that in my mind for a very, very long time. And that's what drives how I paint. Let's see if, let me plug this in. We've got about a half hour before I'm gonna fly back off to my little job. We're plugging this thing in. So in that time, oh goodness, what are you stuck on now? In that time, of course, I'm gonna be yakking away because I yak. Okay. Over the course of the next 30 minutes, I'll be yakking away because that's what I do best is yak. But we're also going to see about filling in some of this stuff. I'm just going to be doing what would be doing off camera anyway. We've been establishing the figure, some of the items that are in the reference material, like this little table, this little vase that's on top. I've been sketching in the fern that comes out of the top, just a little bit out of the top of the planter or vase. Trying to figure out the table shape. Oops, no, that's not white. Sorry, the reference material is on the iPad that we're using for this live stream. The photograph of it, the one I can see. Oh wait, I've got the original. What am I thinking? She's leaning on this really cool table that actually, it looks, once I photographed it and blew it up, the tabletop of it is actually a slab of wood that someone planed and sanded and shined the top of, or did something to the top of it so it's light, but this is all raw wood. It's pretty cool. I can't see this very clearly. We're going to give it a try. But again, this is all fixable. So even if I don't get it right, sketching it in this way, there's time to fix it. It's not a biggie. As long as I don't go too heavy in wiping things down, as I was just saying. Because I want the viewer to experience the act of painting the way I do, in a way. Ooh, and I'll have to mention too, if you're interested in pricing or info on this guy or any of the other paintings on my website, or on Instagram, Facebook, blah, blah, blah. You can contact Chasen Galleries here in Sarasota, or Blue Egg in Fort Lauderdale, and all their contact information is below each and every video I've been making. They're very fancy. So I'm going to share with you a story that I wasn't sure I would share with you, but I'm feeling better now that I'm saying some of this stuff out loud, now that I'm actually having to document a few things. And I'm having to document things because I've had to apply, and I hate this. It is shameful, it is embarrassing, but I have no choice. I am applying for housing assistance because I'm an artist and I live in the United States, and more importantly, in the most culturally devoid culture, if you want to call it that, of Sarasota. So I've been applying for housing assistance, and there is, because I'm so far behind on my rent, I have never, ever, 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 ever been this far behind on my rent. So I've had to explain why I'm a failure. They kind of want to know, 9-to-5 job stuff, which I do 9 to 5. I have done 9 to 5. It hasn't worked out particularly well. It is right now because I have a nice boss, but we don't have business for me to be there 40 hours a week. I have a very nice boss now. But anywho, the site that you have to apply on doesn't make allowances for people who live outside the traditions of 9 to 5. I serve, I am in retail and I serve, or I am in restaurant and I serve. Anyone who lives outside those boundaries, there isn't a lot of room for in their applications, which is kind of sad because, very sad, because Sarasota keeps touting itself as an art community, and it's like, no. It's been a little frustrating, but I've just decided I have to do it. It's either that or I'm totally screwed. And as I've told a number of people lately, if we don't sell and I end up homeless, it doesn't just mean I'm living on the side of the road in a box. It means we lose everything. We lose all the inventory. We lose all the inventory that could be made. We lose all opportunity. To make this even more marketable. But it's tough. We're living in COVID times. So sales on luxury items is hard. It's very hard. But I'm on this website and I'm trying to explain myself in a form or in several different forms. And I'm realizing, and this is what I want you to hear when you feel like me and you're behind on the bills and things are terribly scary and you don't know what to do and you're reaching out to people and things still aren't changing. I want you to hear this. Sit down and list out all the things that you have done and you continue to do to promote your artwork and sell your artwork. List out the different things that have gone wrong. Like I had 3 really big opportunities. 2 of them would have been very high profile, very, very high profile, extremely lucrative, and they've just kind of evaporated or something. I don't even know. It's just weird. And I'm trying to explain this in a form, and I'm saying the ambivalence and the lack of follow-through by the other parties really crushed me financially, emotionally, and mentally. You know, they want to hear, I was working at Dollar General from 9 to 5, 40 hours a week, making $8 an hour or whatever, and I lost my job due to COVID. And that's not how life works for people like us. I know for me, it's like, okay, I'm working so many hours a day, so many days a week for this party. But then look, also, I had this great, fabulous opportunity that went somewhere, but I can't even tell you where because people. And people don't have to, you know, don't feel the need to have to follow through. Or whatever. But sit down. I want you to really sit down, go through your notes, your records, whatever you have. If you're feeling like I'm an absolute, total, complete failure, list all these things that you're doing or have done and continue to do despite the crushing ambivalence of others or the crushing financial situations that you're under and the stressors. So you can say to yourself, I am doing everything I can. And if you're not, how to tackle it. I mean, I'm listing off ways that, you know, I have income because I don't have a 9 to 5. I have a here and there. I have a few hours a day, a few days a week job that I absolutely adore. And we're waiting for business to pick up before he can make another move with me. You know, I'm listing off all the ways for these complete strangers on this forum. I'm listing off all the ways I am trying to make money. I have to document it. I have to send them screenshots. I have to, and all this I have to's for some help has made me realize what people say to me. I mean, people say something. It's made me realize that what people say to me all the time is pretty true. And I'll repeat what people say to me in just a sec. You know, people oftentimes will pay compliments, but I don't really feel them, and I don't understand them, and I don't see it. All I see is a big F for failure on my forehead. But I'll tell you something, my neighbors repeated this thing that other people have said to me for a long time. We were sitting and talking the other day. We help each other out and we chat quite a bit. And she said to me, when we both moved into this place, we were both crushed by our circumstances, by situations we've been in and things that had gone on. And she said, I feel so much better. I feel so much stronger since I moved in and we became friends. And I feel the same way about her. We go back and forth. We help each other. She brings me food. I bring her cereal because I can't cook. And packaged cheese because I can't cook. But we help each other emotionally and with items. And sometimes I'll find my clothes in our shared laundry shed. I'll find my clothes folded. I do the same for her. We go back and forth. We clean the yard together. We do things together. It's really wonderful. But she said to me, your strength and your determination keeps me going. And people say that stuff to me all the time, and I don't always see it or feel it, but I heard it. And then in listing out, oh, look at her little leg, in having to list that her little leg is off. Because the knee would be up here. Little knee would be up here somewhere. So oftentimes we're doing what we need to do. What? Okay, we're gonna have a live call with my boss. Hey, Herb. Herb? Herb? Okay. He butt dialed me or something. You can hear him typing. Anywho, forgot where it was going, but I don't always feel it. I don't always understand it when people say that kind of thing to me. But sitting down and listing things out, listing out what we've done, can be a game changer to us spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'm gonna move this. Yeah, that's the other one I'm working on. There's all the fancy stuff. I'm moving this so I can raise the legs up just a little bit. Her legs are not quite correct. Oops. So list out all the ways. My suggestion is, no, I don't want that. List out all the ways that you are trying to help yourself. List out all the things that you're doing to keep yourself pushing forward. Because God knows there's enough people in this world that will treat you with disregard, ambivalence, and disrespect. Especially for creating art. I can't see, look at her little foot is in the dark. Her little feet are in the dark down there, so I'm kind of gonna fudge it along. It's too tiny. She doesn't have tiny feet. For months and months and months, I was having a really hard time focusing and functioning and producing any artwork, even though I just continued. But actually having to write out everything I do and have done, it's giving me permission to kind of pat myself on the back. For not giving in, even though one of the opportunities that just kind of, fucking evaporated without explanation, would have been a multi-million-dollar deal. And it would have allowed me and several other artists to help artists that we appreciate, we like, we choose choose to surround ourselves with. It's a pretty crushing blow. It's a very crushing blow. That left me devastated for about a month. That and a family issue that I will not discuss. I don't want to cry. Another form of disregard in the world. But that went down the toilet, a very high-profile exhibit. I can't even tell you what's going on with it because the organizers, it was very high-profile. It was very high-profile. But nothing of what I was promised financially or in any way has actually been followed through on. And then I have another deal where I'm supposed to be doing a piece of artwork here in Sarasota, and you know, that between the show that you actually watch me do work for, by the way, multiple pieces, between that and this other project, I would have had, I'm not sure, but somewhere around 100, somewhere between $100,000 and $120,000 to play with, and then the multi-million-dollar deal. And that would have raised me the the recognition from those two events, those two projects, and then the multi-million-dollar deal would have put me in the stratosphere where, you know, I've been working to be. And it would allow me to help other artists, to help people, and to build bigger and bigger projects. But here we are. Okay, we're gonna fold there, we're gonna fold there. But then that's not quite correct. She's got a lot of folds in her dress. We're gonna fold here, which comes down to this one, which is kind of big. Then another fold right here. Fold that comes down. Oh, I think this is where painting with mineral spirits can pay off. But again, I don't want to lose all the texture. I want to keep filling in with paint and lose all that texture. Table. So it comes out like that. That fold comes down to this one. Boobity boo. Still missing one. Oh no, I got it. Okay, never mind. I thought I left out a fold in her skirt, in her pleated skirt. I didn't. Big dummy. Okay. Okay. Got a few more minutes left. So those events that I still have to be vague about, they are heartbreaking, they were crushing, they weren't the first time that shit has hit the fan and left me right on the brink right on the brink. The first one was in 2013. Had a major contract, blah, 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 stopped paying me, stopped communicating with me. Not overcame, but persisted regardless. And I went through all that while making videos too, by the way. You had a front row seat. It's when I lost my studio, Studio 120. That's when I lost my very first studio. I almost lost my place to live. I almost dropped, I almost dropped Bugsy off at the ASPCA because this gallery wasn't sticking to the contract and I had no money, and he was eating and my cat was eating, but I had absolutely no food. So it's not the first time. People have been awful or treated me with disregard. And jeopardized everything that I am and really pushed me to the brink. You know, event after event can push you to the brink where you just don't even care about anything anymore. But that said, if you're feeling lost and you're feeling the way I am or similar, sit down and very seriously start listing out everything that you are doing. Because when I've had to write people who sell my artwork or have sold my artwork, and it's like, look, this is what's going, I've had to tell people, I'm here telling you, but I've had to tell people what's going on. And that we need to sell some artwork so I can get in a place of safety. I've also listed out to them what I'm doing on my end, and I really didn't realize all that I've been doing. I'm gonna get that up even higher. Like sending my portfolio brochure out to other galleries. I've actually sent it to a museum that buys artwork directly. They'll buy entire portfolios from artists. But I'm writing people like that who have always been kind of apprehensive about contacting. I'm just writing them because who cares? Really, it couldn't get much worse. What are they gonna do? Say no? What are they gonna do? Treat me like I don't exist? That's already happening. It's already happening, so who cares? It's like, pardon me, I'm gonna swear again. It's kind of like, fuck all, who cares? I'm gonna do what's best for me. Because being polite and sitting here on the sidelines, or sitting on the sidelines, isn't doing anyone any good. It's not doing me any good. So we keep making videos, we keep pushing Patreon, where you can supply monthly support for as little as $5 a month. TeePublic, we just keep promoting our artwork and making videos. And I'm not saying, oh, I'm so awesome, although I kind of am. I'm saying sit down, take a real look at all that you've accomplished. This has been a very tough couple of years. And we've managed to hang in there and survive regardless. Like right now, it's even more scary news. Russia invaded Ukraine. That was all over the news yesterday. People are calling it everything from the World War III to, the next Cold War to blah, blah, blah. This nightmare that we're living in never seems to end. So sit down. I gotta stop because I gotta go to work. And I'm not running out of words. I've gotta walk to work. I've gotta walk to my little part-time job. Do yourself a favor. Sit down. Write down everything you were doing to help yourself. I know for me, COVID started early in 2020. Well, for everybody, COVID started in early 2020, and I lost my last full-time job July 1st, 2020. It's okay. I hated the man I was working for. He was completely vile. He was a bully and a narcissist. Very Trumpian. He is very Trumpian. So that wasn't that a horrible move. It's made me reflect who I want to work with and who I want to work for. But sit down and really think. List it out, everything that you're doing for yourself. Did you rebuild your website? Did you make a website since this whole blech started? Have you made a website? Did you finally open an account on Instagram or TikTok or whatever? Are you posting every day? List it out so you can see what you're accomplishing. Are you are you adding to Facebook every day? Maybe you deleted your account and that feels like a victory. Maybe it's just sitting down every day and making something or working at something. Maybe it's, I am selling through these galleries or these venues. I had a show. There are a multitude of things. If we really sit down and think about it, that we're doing to help ourselves. So sit down. I'm getting a haircut soon. Sit down, write it out. Do yourself a favor. Write it out so you can pat yourself on the back. You're a survivor. You're pushing on. And you never know, you could be inspiring a lot of people with your work and your determination. All right, that's enough of that. My throat's sore. Gotta go to work. We pushed her a tiny bit further along, working in some of the background, some of the lights and darks. It's gonna take a long time, but I'm really glad that we did this again. Studio mate in another state. It's nice to share time and company again. It's been very good for my heart, and I hope for yours as well. Now, I'm Beck Lane. If you would like to help support Catalyst and Company, all the links are down below. Like I say at the end of video, you can support through Patreon. Patreon, where you can supply monthly support for as little as $5 a month, and you get a little reward in the end. There's Cash App, PayPal links down below, TeePublic, where you can buy images of my work printed on junk. Then there was something else. Oh, and if you would like pricing on my artwork, if you're interested in buying artwork, the links for the guys are down below. We've got Jay Louise at Blue Egg Gallery. We've got Mark and Andrew at Chasen Gallery here in Sarasota. And then we've got Raphael Coelho in New Jersey. All the information will be below this video by the end of the day, but in the meantime, it's at the end it's tagged onto all the other videos I've made. All right, I've got to go. I'm going to get my little shoesy doozies on and get to work. Okay, get to my job with the guy who just butt dialed me. All right, ciao. And Carrie, thinking of you, my friend. Hang in there. All right. Ciao. Meow.